ever taken your kid to a public pool? No. Have you ever put your child in a public school? No. Then what do you know? And issue with that, I'm not black. He said, no, no, no. That's not the point. We need to include people and break down the stereotypes of what it is, because we have the same hopes and wishes and dreams and goals, not only for our children and our families and our parents and our churches, but for our nation. And we need to get beyond all that and just focus on what truly is important. And that's what I have to say. Sorry.
I am so excited to see a group of black people who have been fed democratic cause and democratic purpose. And the Republicans don't do this for you, but the Democrat does all these things for you. But think about it. Every day you get up, you see somebody getting shot in the community. You see no jobs in the community. You see a 50% unemployment for young people in the community, down from 17%. Nobody loves to see black folks in the White House as much as I do. But where are we being led? We're not being led down the path of progress. I think that we should come together, if it's just to get jobs, to make a decent living, and just for you to be here listening to this organization is something totally new. I've been in this party for over 20 years. And if you go in the community and get a crowd of 5 or 3 or 4, the first thing that they will say to you is, well, the Republicans are not going to do anything for you, but what are the Democrats doing for you? You got to do for yourself. Every morning, and since I was a kid, when I got up and my mom said, you go find a job, if I had to wash that same shirt 2 or 3 times and put it on, I go knock on the door because I want to be self-efficient. So just to listen to our conversation and try and make a change in the community, be able to have some power in the Republican community and in the Republican Party, it's significant. I was with Ronald Reagan in Washington, D.C. And when the Republicans in and the Democrats there, you don't have nobody sitting there representing you. And I was the executive assistant to the United States Public Printer. And when the deals are being cut and when the different types of projects are being submitted for bids, if I wasn't sitting there and at the end of the day said, well, what about the black community? Oh yeah. Just a matter, oh, we didn't think about that. And it make a big difference. And I'm telling you, the Democratic Party is not going to always be in, but you're going to always need somebody to represent you. So please, I would like for you to ask some questions too. I'd like to hear what's coming from you. What drove you to get up out your house or coming from work and get on a bus and come all the way from Miami to see if could be some type of hope in the community that can change not only you, your kids' kids. Every day, I hate to pick up, I'm from Miami Gardens, which they call New Jack City now. Every day, there's a murder going on. Every day, and let me tell you something, where there's no hope, where there's no jobs, there's increasing crime.
Absolutely. Yes, that's true.
And where there's no father in the house, there's the mothers, babies having babies. And the president it's unconceivable that he would sit there and talk about something like Obamacare and Obamacare are gonna do this for you and gonna do that for you. But at the same time, he don't tell you, you are gonna be tight
Fine.
and fine.
Exactly.
And fine.
No, fine.
And
Yeah,
not only
exactly.
fine, and not only fine, we think that we get something for nothing, that we don't have to get on a plan. If we don't get on a plan,
Get a fine.
you get a fine. And when you get that fine, that means IRS is gonna become involved.
Oh, God.
And IRS don't stop because they put interest up at one hand and you ain't paid another hand. And then we got people in our community standing around giving people high five. Oh, we gonna be on a health plan. You better be. So people, it's not about Democrat or Republicans, it's about survival. It's about survival for our family.
And let me just interject, and because what you're saying and what Dominique has said and what Gladys is saying, the only way we can make this movement be successful, Dominique said it best, numbers. And those numbers equate to this. If we have 500, 1,000 black Republicans throughout the South County region, throughout the South Florida region, when we get ready to elect a new congressman to represent our region that goes from Palm Beach to Broward, or from Broward to Dade County, and each and every one of us are on the same accord, and each and every one of us are going to the polls, then that means more than likely we're going to elect the person that we want to have be elected, which means that the person that we want to be elected, we've already vetted to the point where we know he or she is going to represent us the best way that we want them to and the best way they know how, which reverts into them passing bills that we want passed that we know are going to help us at home, in our home as well as outside of our home, from our pocket to our paychecks to everything that affects us on a daily life. We have legislators right now in Tallahassee who they get elected by the people that support them best, but those very legislators go when FP&L want a rate hike, and they give it to them because, and it doesn't matter what party they are, but they give it to them because FPL is putting money in their pocket, and in return, they know that they're beholden to FP&L. And this is just an example. But if we don't have an elected official who we can hold accountable, then we won't ever move forward and move past the rut that we're in right now as a community. So that's to bring all of this together, and I want all of you all to, because we don't have that much longer, but I want all of you all to have an opportunity to say whatever it is that you want to say, because I would love to have you all sign up this evening to be members. So the floor is open, please, by all means. And
I was mainly some of my people here. I'm a pastor in the West Bryan area, District 9. And what they did, they came to support pretty much what James doing. But I'm here because of the statement this young man here in this black suit made. My people don't have jobs. Me being a pastor, I'll be honest with you, Democrat, whatever, I need them to get jobs. And being a good pastor, you want your people to prosper. And that's my purpose. But I want them to have some information also before they go forward. And they're getting that tonight. And me, I'm going to be first partaker to sign up because I like some of what's going on. And I know they do, but that's why I brung them. Where I'm going to get that information, then they can go home and say, okay, now what do we can do now collectively by meeting where we can go in our communities, because I know what's going on in our community. They don't have no jobs. And if they don't have no job, then can I be honest with you, I don't care if you're green, I'm not voting for you. I'm hungry.
That's right.
Right, exactly.
I'm hungry. And then what we got to do is give them jobs first. And you know, and start helping them. And then when they see that, then we can put confidence in whoever running.
That's right.
But you know where that confidence comes from? That confidence comes from us. What we have to do is, throughout the course of our monthly meetings, begin looking at people in the community and saying, boy, we think this person or we think that person would best suit us, whether it be in a municipal seat or a county seat or a state seat or a federal seat. And that's how we pick whom we want to run for that respective office, and that's how we go and get behind them full force. I know it looks like money is what runs elections, but you have had people that have had the most amount of money and still fall short. It is the people.
I think Pastor, I think it's, that's really, that's really and truly, it's going to be a while before black Republicans get elected. Let's face it.
That's right.
But if we can get a group of people with like thinking minds, black Republicans, we could sit down with the governor, and we'll get national attention, by the way, and we'll say to the governor, listen, we need your support. When Walmarts and Walgreens and Costco, when they come in the community, we want to sit at the table and you help us bring in your industry. We want your warehouses in the community, not just your $6 an hour jobs. We want industry in the community. We want to get those things flying, and we need your help to go and tell them. Because most of these jobs that come in the community, they do not bring their warehouses with them. And when you go in the community and look in the warehouse district in the black community, there's nobody there. They're empty. And when you go in the other communities, Hialeah, Dorel, those people have military contracts that their congressmen bring to them that put thousands of people to work. We cannot afford to wait for one job or one deal. We need massive jobs. And the only way we're going to do that is get industry going on in these communities. And with the governor help and the Republican help.
Can I say something too? I've been a Democrat. You know, all
We
my-
forgive you.
We all
And listen, I'm dissatisfied with the Democrats. You know, with a lot of the things they did, a lot of the things they stand for.
Right.
And a lot of us now, especially the evangelical, ministries and people, we are dissatisfied. Now, we need the Republicans to come forward and say, you all dissatisfied. Why are you dissatisfied? And since you all are dissatisfied, what way can we help you? Because, we know that the Republicans Party do stand for, things like